I'm back.
Gar, Tampa Bay, gar! I hope everyone is feeling robust and ready for adventure. I am Chuck Turgeon, the most fantastic first mate, here to get you in the know about the course of tonight's show. Today we are not only talking pirates, but we are talking Buccaneers, plus the winning ways of the Lightning and Rays with radio sports host Ronnie Lane. Next, we see how Trinity Dental Arts are changing smiles and changing lives at the same time. Then Michael the Pirate sails the Hillsborough River on Tampa's Pirate Water Taxi. Finally, Sam the Movie Man goes one-on-one with Bill Skarsgård and Ewan McGregor on their upcoming projects. And now, for your host, the always swashbuckling Michael Clayton, a.k.a. Captain Black Sparrow!
I need to loosen up my neck muscles before I start moving like that. Feels like game day, baby. I'm ready to go. Listen, I don't want y'all to think that my hype man Chuck Turgeon is crazy. I mean, he likes to get into full character. A short one, but definitely full character. And we found out yesterday that it was International Talk Like a Pirate Day, and Chuck must have a little bit of a hangover. Love you, Chuck. Well, listen, because I'm not a pirate, I figured that I would do some research to see if someone or something could help me figure out the language. I found this website named Pirate Speak that just translates just about any sentence into the way that a pirate would phrase it. It's pretty cool, so you should definitely check it out. And the next time that you're catching beads down at Gasparilla, you can not only dress like a pirate, but talk like one too. Wait. I think I need to do that again in pirate fashion. Rewind the tape. They don't call me Captain Black Sparrow because of my melanin, no. It's because of this black molar I've had for... Someone please call Dr. Joanna July. I'm gonna need that molar to suck on my crow bones. Ahoy, mates, today be like a gentleman of fortune day. Because I be not no gentleman of fortune, I figured I would do some research to see someone or something could help me figure out the language. I found this here website, Pirate Speak, that it just about translate any sentence into the way a gentleman of fortune would phrase it. It's pretty cool. You should check it out. And the next time you're catching beads down at Gasparilla, you can all not only dress like a gentleman of fortune, but you can talk like one too. And speaking of our Buccaneers, we all to a pretty slow start. But what did ye expect from a 43-year-old goat? But in this case, me dear mates, patience be required. And I'm sure the cream will eventually get up on deck to the top. Either that there be Tom Brady leading us to victory, or the cream that's in me beer. Cheers.
The reason I came to Trinity Dental Arts is because my mouth was in horrible shape. It is a long drive here from Kissimmee, but was most impressed with what I saw. Dr. G's credentials, the training that she'd had. Every person in this office made me feel very comfortable.
And then by the time they walk out, you have a different person. And to see that over and over again is so fulfilling.
The pandemic has pushed fans out of the stadium and halting all sports for a time, but the one thing that has been consistent is our local coverage of what's going on a day-to-day basis. And though it's been tough and difficult to talk about the unknown, Ronnie Night Train Lane
has been an intricate part in WDAE Sports Radio for over 20 years. And he joins me now to talk a little Rays, a little Bucks, and a little Lightning. Ronnie, thank you for joining me today.
Hey, it's my pleasure, Mike. Good to see you.
So off the bat, have things been difficult in terms of coverage because you're not able to actually go to the games, or are you making a nice adjustment?
Hey, we're making it do, man. It's it's a very nice commute to the games, from the bedroom to the living room to the kitchen, that sort of thing.
You gotta enjoy
So it's all
that.
good, man. All good.
Look
yeah,
at the positive.
But we miss the live coverage. We miss being there. There's something about that relationship and talking with guys like yourself and athletes and looking them face to face that you miss from, the Zoom conversations and just conversations on the phone. So it is different. I can't wait till we get back to somewhat normal as far as that is concerned.
All right, let's get to the meat of the conversation. We're here in Florida, and we could very well be looking at an opportunity for all three of our major sports teams, the Bucks, the Lightning, and the Rays, reach a championship. In your opinion, is that even possible, and could you even imagine that happening?
Well, it's certainly possible. It is unprecedented for this area. And it's tough for me to wrap my arms around because, spending so much time in this area off and on for 30 years, this has never occurred, where you have three teams that are going to make the playoffs in the same calendar year. At least that's the projection. The Rays won 96 games last year, made the playoffs. They should make it with ease, particularly with how they've handled their arch nemesis, the New York Yankees, this year. They won 8 out of the 10 games, and it's a shortened season, so they're going to be in the playoffs. We know that for a fact. And the Bucks, on paper, it looks like they're going to be in the playoffs. How crazy is that?
That's crazy. So let's start with the Rays a little bit. What are some of the challenges that they may face and things that they have to overcome for us to see them in the World Series this year?
Mainly, just have to avoid COVID-19 infections. That's number one. Number two, the injury bug. They've had a number of injuries, but because of their depth, both in the pitching side and as far as position players, and that was one of the strengths, one of the arguments we made going into this season, that they had a good chance to win because of their organizational depth as a whole. They got a lot of players to reach and pull from, and that has come invaluable with all the players that they've had hurt. They're getting some of their key players back now, and they have a sizable lead in the American League East, which is, we didn't expect that. We thought the Yankees were going to be on top, the Rays would be number 2, but it looks like the Rays are in a great position down the stretch to win the division.
So Ronnie, let's go into the Lightning. What are some of the things, the challenges that they've faced? We lose Stamkos as a captain. Is it possible for them to weather this storm and be holding the World Cup at the end of the year?
They have weathered it through 2 rounds of the playoffs without their captain. And their captain, Stamkos, is very important for them when they get the man advantage, the power play, because of his patented power play shot. He is the leader on their team as far as power play points. So they've adjusted to that. They adjusted during the Columbus series, carried that through the Boston series, but they also have some rough and tough guys. I guess they like to call them the guys with grit that are playing on this team that you will not be pushed around. They were kind of pushed around before in the playoffs. They were noted more as a finesse team, the pretty shots and the pretty passing. Now they can play any type hockey that anybody wants to play, and they've proved that thus far in the playoffs. And I think this is the year that they're going to finally do it. They've been to the finals 4 of the last 6 years.
It's time.
So you got to break through.
It's time to have a break.
And then you're not going to be able to keep the core of this team together much longer. This team is going to look different next season because you can't pay everybody.
Can't afford it.
Can't pay everybody, but they're really good, man. I'm impressed.
Well, speaking of teams that can't pay everybody, let's go to the Bucks, who pretty much bought a championship caliber team. It looks great on paper. And it's a very different team that we've seen the past 20 years here in Tampa Bay. What is your perspective on how this team performs throughout the year, and what is the realistic goal for this team being led by Tom Brady?
I think the realistic goal is to get to the playoffs. As you know, Michael, this team has not been to the playoffs in 12 years, haven't won a playoff game
I was there.
Yeah, you were there.
2007.
When's the last time they won a playoff game?
Oh my goodness.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
That's a long time ago, bro. Yeah. The Super Bowl seems like it was so long ago. But they've got the talent on offense. They already had a great collection of offensive players. They just needed to put it all together and all move in the same direction. I think cutting down on the turnovers is going to help with that. But you just look at the talent on the offensive side, man. On paper, if they all gel, you know more about football than I do. If you all gel, you can get all these people together, but if they don't gel and all have the same goal, it's not going to work. But I think under Tom Brady, they all have the same goal. He's that kind of guy that can elevate other guys' games. And he's the kind of guy, according to the players that we've talked to, he's just kind of like a normal guy. Everybody loves him, and he gets along with everyone. He doesn't think he's better than anyone else. He does demand the best of you, though. Yes. And when you demand the best of someone, you also have to be the best. You know that. You got to lead through example.
I call them guys with an exclamation mark, those primetime players. But then you got guys with a question mark. In your opinion, who is that guy who on the team can be a difference maker but has a question mark that needs to kind of step it up this year to make this team whole, in your opinion?
I think it's the running back position has to step up, and they've taken some measures to fix that. They brought in a couple of veterans, and one's a young guy, one's an older guy. But I think Ronald Jones is that player that really needs to step up. He took a step forward last season. I like that, but he needs to build on that. In other words, he needs to be able to pick up his assignments, particularly his blocking assignments. He needs to be able to figure out what the defense is doing so that he knows where he's supposed to be. And Brady will find you. Yes. If you get where you're supposed to be, Brady will find you. So I'd like to see him pick his game. He's got a lot of potential, I think. But I like the fact that they bring in Leonard Fournette, man. Your boy.
LSU, baby.
He can be the hammer. When they get that lead, they bring in Fournette, pound the football. I like it. I hope it works.
When you're surrounded by a lot of exclamation marks, it seems that it's a negative connotation that you're talking about the question marks. And I just want to encourage everybody, stay positive on Ronald Jones because he's made some explosive plays in his young career, and his upside is tremendous. So hopefully he can be motivated, like you said, motivated like Tom Brady really makes the difference. And I know everybody's excited to see how the Bucs finish off this season. Ronnie, thank you so much for joining me today, man.
My pleasure, Mike.
You're looking good, Ronnie.
Wish you the best, my brother.
You're looking good,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Love your swag.
When we come back, Trinity Dental Arts shows us how they are making their patients smile.
This year, the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's is everywhere. On every sidewalk, track, and trail across this country. All of us are raising funds for one goal, a world without Alzheimer's and all other dementia. Because this disease isn't waiting, neither are you. Take the first step on your walk right now. Go to alz.org/walk.
You know how they say you never get a second chance to make a first impression? Well, many times your first impression is your smile. And my next guest has been helping people enhance their appearance and, in many cases, their lives by providing a wide range of cosmetic dentistry services. Please welcome Dr. Joanna July of Trinity Dental Arts and one of her patients, Chuck Napier. Thank you so much for joining us today. Tell us a little bit about Trinity Dental Arts.
Trinity Dental Arts is a private dental office owned by me in Trinity, Florida, and we provide a wide range of dental services there, but we do focus on full mouth reconstruction on dental implants, and that's what my patient Chuck had.
Now, Chuck, what brought you to Trinity Dental Arts?
I looked all around. I had dentures were the worst fitting things in the world, painful, I couldn't eat with them, so I went to get implants. And I went everywhere comparing prices because I went to the first local place that did dentures, and I would never do that again.
Wow. Well, has this really been a lifestyle change? Many people say that it is life-changing when you have dental work.
In fact, I told her the first time I got my teeth, and I said, oh, I had an apple first time in 2 years.
That is awesome.
You can't eat anything hard.
You can't eat anything hard?
No, not with dentures. And if you go out to a restaurant, you always take them out and hide them, putting glue in back on.
It can be quite embarrassing.
Oh, it's totally.
Tell us a little bit about the process of dental implants, Doc.
So dental implants, it's considered to be the gold standard to replace the missing teeth. Whether you're missing one tooth, a couple, or the whole mouth, we do dental implants. In Chuck's case, it's considered an overall type of approach. So if you have no teeth on the top jaw or the bottom jaw, then the first step would be to plan out the case, and then you do the surgical aspect of it where you place the implants, there's some bone grafting involved, and then the temporary set of teeth is delivered for about 4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, when all the healing has taken place, then the full set, the final set of teeth, which looks very real, very strong and durable, just like your own natural teeth, that's when you have that done. And we've already done that with Chuck.
Chuck, surgery, bone grafts, it can sound painful, but I want to hear from you. Like, how was this procedure and how was your recovery time?
Well, I was lucky. I went in their office, put down, one of the nurses knocked me out. Not the punch, but injection. And after I got out of there, I was a little discomfort, for a day. She gave me medicine for a couple of days. I only took like one day, the pain pills. And I just had to be careful eating stuff because there just had to be soft foods. And then she said 2 or 3 weeks, and I was like, a week, maybe 10 days, and I was eating everything back normal.
So when you think about it, it's just one day of discomfort for a lifetime
of change.
Of
Yes,
change.
it is. So it's definitely worth it.
Now, how would you recommend someone who has dentures rethink of getting dental implants?
Absolutely. I mean, dentures, it's one way of replacing your teeth, but it's not natural. I'm sure there's many patients just like Chuck that have just tried to learn how to tolerate them or just kind of have their life revolve around dentures, but it's not the greatest option out there.
Now, Chuck, you mentioned that you did a lot of price searching before you chose Dr. July's office. What other things were you looking for in terms of making that decision?
People. I walked in a couple corporation dentistries, and the people there are just robots walking around. They didn't care, And up other ones, I walked in her office. Everybody's real happy, real friendly, and Lucky was there, and the dog.
Lucky the dog.
Yes.
I met Lucky today.
And it was just the atmosphere totally different from all the other dentistries. It wasn't a dentist's office; it's a
family.
family affair. That's it.
A family
Gathering,
And that says a lot about the office
The
because
culture,
a lot of
yes.
a lot of people want to be welcomed with open arms, and a lot of people do have discomfort. I'm sure that there are many people out there who are embarrassed about their situation, about what your teeth look like, and I can almost assume that you guys really walk them through that process and let them know that it's okay.
Absolutely. So we do welcome everybody with smiles. We know their names. We know their situation, where they're from, where they're looking, what is their vision for the future. We tend to be a little bit nosy at times. And then we definitely will put them at ease. We do tell them exactly what to expect because we do this so often, so we kind of know. And then ultimately we have happy patients, and that's our goal.
If anyone had any questions about dental implants or any information about any of the other things that you guys do at your office, how can they get in contact with you?
So we have a very, we have a great presence on social media. So we do have our Facebook page, our Instagram page, our YouTube channel, Trinity Dental Arts, TrinityDentalArts.com on Facebook and everywhere. So we have lots of videos like Chuck and some other patients that they talk about their experiences. There's a lot of information online. And if you'd like to call us, our telephone number is 727-228-6846.
Dr. July, thank you so much. And Chuck, you have not only beautiful eyes, man, but a beautiful smile to go with those eyes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you very much.
After the break, it's a trip down the Hillsborough River for Captain Clayton.
Ahoy, mates! All aboard the Pirate Water Taxi! Ahoy! Welcome aboard! Well, ahoy, ahoy! Wow! This is the cleanest Gentleman of Fortune pirate ship I've ever seen in my bloody matey life! Wow, you must be Captain Morgan! The view is beautiful! Today we're joining the outdoors on a beautiful pirate ship. I'm sitting here with Ms. Jennifer Richardson, the Executive Director of Marketing for the Pirate Water Taxi. Ms. Jennifer, how many stops do you have? Where can people launch and dock from?
So we have 15 stops on the Tampa Riverwalk. We have a stop, one at the Florida Aquarium, all the way to Rick's on the River, Sparkman Wharf, Armature Works.
Many stops that you can enjoy.
Many stops at all of the great attractions and restaurants.
Now, I'm getting this feeling that October and pirate ships just go together. Anything that y'all have special planned for Halloween coming up?
Yes, we actually are bringing back our Haunted River Tours, which is a spooky good time in October. All weekends in October we'll be doing that.
For those concerned about the safety of getting on board, what type of precautions have been taken to ensure that everyone is safe when they're enjoying a pirate water taxi?
Absolutely. We're running at 50% capacity. We're requiring face masks when you board because social distancing can't always happen at that time. And then we're open air. Half our taxi's outside and the other half's inside, but it's separated by plexiglass.
So we encourage everyone not to drink and drive, but when you're aboard the pirate water taxi, you can indulge in a full bar, I see. What type of beverages are available for those who want to partake?
Absolutely. We have beer, wine, seltzer, and soda for those maybe that aren't drinking, but I highly encourage it aboard.
What about food? Any food?
We do not have any. We just have some chips.
It doesn't matter because you got great restaurants to enjoy around the stop where you're launching. You can get a bite to eat there, right?
Absolutely. There's options are endless.
Now let's talk about some of the sights that you see when you're aboard and riding on the river. I've been here 15 years, and unfortunately, I have to say I haven't traveled this far down the river, but this is an amazing view, would make for a great date night.
Oh, absolutely. And we're about to be right here at the Heights District at Stop 16 Armature Works. There's so much new and exciting things. They're expanding the Riverwalk. So much to do.
Around, so nighttime, kind of give me a part of that ambiance or the lights aboard. Do you really feel the pirate water taxi at nighttime?
Oh, 100%. It's the perfect date night. All the bridges in Tampa light up after dark. So it's just like you need to ride during the day to see the city, and then after dark, Tampa lights up.
So what is the cost for tickets, and how would one purchase and obtain those tickets?
So piratewatertaxi.com is our website. You can purchase those or on the boat and take cash and credit card. And it's $20 for an all-day ticket.
And for adults and children?
Children are $10. Mm-hmm. And we also have an annual pass option if you want to be a frequent rider.
So we went in one direction and took us to Rick's on the River. Now we're heading in the opposite direction. How far south will the pirate water taxi take us south?
So on this boat today, we're going to go to the convention center, but you could hop off there, get on another boat that would take you all the way to the Florida Aquarium.
Ahoy, Jose! We come in peace! So aboard the Pirate Water Taxi, not only do you get to enjoy beautiful views, but you get to meet new beautiful people. I'm sitting here next to Miss Tamika Scott. She's from Georgia. Miss Tamika,
Yes.
what brought you to Tampa, Florida, and how did you hear about the Pirate Water Taxi?
Well, I'm down here visiting with my boyfriend before he has to go overseas.
Okay.
Right, he's on base, so I said, you know what? Why not have a good time?
Yes.
Kill time.
Now, Miss Tamika, you're
Yes.
enjoying yourself, but you're missing something.
What am I missing?
You are aboard the Pirate Water Taxi, and you don't have any pirate gear on. What's going on with that?
Well, I guess they didn't love me today. I don't know.
No, you got to love yourself, but that's okay because Michael Clayton got you, baby.
You got me?
I got you. Bring my and give my girl here some weapons, some gear. Give him some weapons. How you feel? And then when you're from Tampa or you live in
I'll
Tampa,
take it myself.
you always got like a pirate patch.
Ahoy.
Ahoy. You don't have to put it on, but you can, Now you geared up.
Yeah.
Now you geared up. Don't hit me with that now. So there's so many things to do when you're taking the journey to hop aboard the Pirate Water Taxi. Hey, you can be down in Channelside, you can eat good, you can jump on board and see all of the great sights, and most of all, you get to meet great people right here in Tampa Bay.
Don't go away because Sam the Movie Man goes one-on-one with several stars. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and to see expanded interviews, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Michael Clayton Live.
I earn your trust, I earn your business.
Call iEarn
Ierna's Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Ierna's and Bryant are doing whatever it takes to keep you and your wallet comfortable. CAC 1813676.
IEarnaAir.com.
You ever think about how we ended up orphans living in the same house?
I know what my daddy did.
Southern Gothic is the name of the game on Netflix this week as Rob Pattinson and Tom Holland front the bill in The Devil All the Time. A handful of 5 disparate tales set in the period South, centered around a clapboard church, with a side of spooky stuff and a handful of spiders thrown in for good measure.
That ain't no preacher. He's as bad as they got on the damn radio.
This guy may be hard to recognize without the grease paint and that set of shark-like chompers he wore in the hugely successful It films as Pennywise the Clown. He's co-star Bill Skarsgård. Now, what is it about, in your mind, this kind of environment of hyper-ruralism, if you will? I don't know if that's a term, but, you know, they mind it in Deliverance very well, and it can give the viewer a very dissettling feeling. I don't know what it is about it. Are we frightened of Mother Nature? Are we frightened of isolation? Or are we frightened of the people that live in those environments? What's your take on that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my experience of shooting in rural America is that people are really nice. I think rural America has to an extent maybe gotten a bad rep because of it. Because we were shooting in Alabama and pretty rural parts of it, and like I said, like the people are really nice there. But it's become kind of this sort of classic Americana storytelling where there's like small town, rural place, and then there's a bunch of secrets or dark, twisted things going on, you know?
Not because I want to.
Look for The Devil All the Time on Netflix now. Now, also out this week over on Apple TV+, Ewan McGregor takes a break from Hollywood red carpets and playing Obi-Wan Kenobi as he trades in his Star Cruiser for a decidedly pretty cool set of wheels in the continuation of his Buddies on Bikes documentary series, this time called Long Way Up. In the past 2 installments, he and pal Charlie Borman
the power's just gone.
roared over the likes of Europe, Russia, Mongolia, and Africa. Well, here the pair ride from the southern tip of South America to LA on prototype electric Harleys. I had seen that you guys had gone, for example, Chile. I think you'd entered the border once, and then you left it, and then you re-entered, and then left it again. It was like 3 times. Border crossings, were they difficult?
They can be. They can be, but they can also be like I sort of almost look forward to them because you get to just sit down. You get to just sit down and chill out for sometimes hours and hours.
And you can chill out in the comfort of your living room as
I'm an actor.
Long Way Up is playing on Apple TV Plus now. From Michael Clayton Live, I'm Sam Hallenbeck.